Welcome back, Dodecadorks. We're the 12-sided guys. I'm Matt, and I'm playing as Dirk. Hey, that's right. We have a close game here for Double Jeopardy. Let's meet our contestants. We have Sabrina as Nora.
Oh, hey there, folks.
Jordan as Sorik.
Suck it, Trebek.
Tana as Echo.
Hey, y'all.
And as the Dungeon Master, it's Scott.
I assure you, I know what I'm doing.
And our remaining categories are world capitals, S-words, and potent potables. Tana, you control the board.
I'll take potent potables for 200.
Your clue is...
Did you really make one for all of these?
just one for each category, yeah. Your clue is, listeners will find the rules for the drinking game I Barely Know Ya by subscribing to this.
Bing, bing, bing.
Tana.
What is Patreon?
That's correct. We still have S-words and world capitals.
Let's do world capitals.
For how much?
200.
200,
Alex?
Okay. All right, world capitals for 200. Rate the podcast this many stars if you enjoyed when Nari and the boys, the JV team, and the Snow Patrol crossed paths within the capital city of Almar.
Ding, ding, ding.
Yes.
What is 2 stars?
That's incorrect.
Dang it, guys.
Sabrina.
I thought that was it.
I'm going to say, what is 5 stars?
That is correct. All right, Sabrina.
I get wrecked.
Man.
Oh, man.
I was so close on that.
All right, Sabrina, you control the board. S-words. It's S-words.
I really wanted to be on S words. Give it to me.
For how much? Sorry.
Oh, sorry, 10,000.
For 10,000. All right, S-words for 10,000. You know what? For 500. S-words for 500 is the size it's going. This is where listeners can go to discuss Scott's destructive habit of picking up cursed swords.
Beep, 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 beep.
Jordan.
I'd like to buy a vowel.
Incorrect.
No? All right. Well, I don't know what it is, but what is Discord?
Yes, that's correct. What is the 12-sided guys Discord? Link in the description. All right, and the last clue. If you ever had to correctly answer a Magic Mirror's questions aided by a lying quasit named Shovel, then this
Podcast is for you.
You got to beep in.
What is this podcast is for you? Or what is a you?
This podcast is for you?
Okay. Nobody is beeping in.
Bing, bing, bing.
Yes, Tana.
What is podcast is for you?
That's correct. It's Reaper's Requiem.
Weepo's
Episode
Requiem.
Requiem, guys.
It's
I almost
Reaper's.
thought you called it Weeper's Rectum for a second.
Weepo's Requiem.
It's Reaper's Requiem. It's Reaper's Requiem, episode 6.
Oh, I love it.
Jeez.
The last time we were together, before the random saved game, our party of heroes traveled towards the Graithwain River and came to the Graithwain Crossing, where they found a wagon and met with some soldiers. There was an explosion from the wagon. From the explosion came out a couple of demons from some sort of other plane. And
I believe it was the mac and cheese plane. They were cheddar goblins.
Yes, that's what we were calling them, cheddar goblins.
The yummiest plane in existence.
Mm-hmm. And so the party, along with the Duke and the rest of the retinue, fought off the creatures and saved both the Revaloon and the Velmirith guards, as well as a civilian who had been driving the wagon. There was also the civilian, I don't know that you learned his name yet, but he was a tiefling. He had purplish skin and short black hair. And then off in the distance was another man who was a Goliath, and he was wrangling a pack mule of sorts called a struthon that's a cross between a chicken and a kangaroo and a raptor and, all sorts of weird things.
Majestic beast, if I say so myself.
Very beautiful creature. We ended the last session with the players, a few of the players, looking around the wagon and finding some things among the wreckage after the explosion. The Duke and most of the party was doing that, except the Duke and Dirk had moved over to talk with the burlier-looking Goliath man who's pulling the Struthon along with him. There was a little bit of tension because he was approaching with his weapon drawn, but then as he saw that the fight had ended with the monsters, he put his weapons away. So that's where we'll pick up from here. I believe the last thing that you guys found was a hidden shipping ledger. In the wreckage, there was a ledger fragment, and I think that was the last thing that you guys had found, if I'm not mistaken.
Right. We found the official ledger, and then we also found a description that had a bit more information about some of the more illicit contents of this wagon.
As well as an odd dice that had die that had 6 pips on each side.
Yeah, yes. That was in the wreckage. We will start it from here. There's some tension in the air. So where you're standing right now, you're in the middle of this bridge, and it's a large stone bridge that kind of arcs just slightly as it goes across the river. There's a couple of small little islands dotted around the river. There's like shallower spots towards the eastern side of the Graithwain River. The current looks pretty fast. There's pretty good breeze coming through, and you're all standing here right after that fight and digging through the wreckage of the wagon just a little bit. So that's where we'll pick up.
So this ledger specifically is mentioning B&W. Does anybody know anything about the that shipping company?
I mean, you see them all around. My experience as a wagoner, similar field, but never really had to deal directly with them.
Do we know if they have any ties to any of the other duchies?
You actually may know more than the others. You would know this just in preparation for the city, maybe. Why don't you make a history check? And it's going to be pretty low difficulty for you, Sorik, specifically.
I rolled a 15 for history.
Okay. So what you know about B&W shipping is they are the front for an organization called the Black Ledger, and they are not so much a thieves guild, although there is, larceny and all sorts of other illicit things happening, but they're more
potato-related things.
Yes, very potato-related. They deal in secrets. They trade illicit goods that the government, doesn't want to be involved with. They work with both. They work with the government and on their own, kind of the highest bidder sort of thing. You, with your 15, I'll say that you do know that the other Duke and Duchess, they have used the Black Ledger in the past, and you're pretty sure that the old king did at some point as well. So whatever dealings they've had with B&W, it seems like everybody uses them for something. They go through them when they need something illicit done.
Got it. Okay. So that makes sense, but it complicates. I think Sorik is kind of talking out loud at this point. He's like, so B&W, they do shipping, they do all sorts of smuggling and dealing in contraband, but they do it for everybody. But who would have procured their services for this? And is this just coincidence, or was this some sort of a planned sabotage of the crossing?
I don't know. I mean, there was a destination, right? Would it be helpful if we found out who is at the destination when we get there? Would that shed any light on it? Maybe the intended target, or maybe somebody was to receive these so that they could deploy them somewhere else and the explosion was an accident.
Are any of the crates still intact?
Most of them are broken.
Okay.
There's a bag of letters that seems to be mostly intact. There's the why don't you make an investigation check as you guys are poking through some of these crates and taking a look at it.
Sork got an 8, but I'm going to, in case it helps, I'm going to use a burst of mental clarity.
Nice.
And see if I can get a little bit more. Add 5 to that, so a 13.
Okay.
Dirk got a 3, nat 1 for a 3.
Nora got a 23.
Echo got a 2.
Nice. Love it. Echo and Dirk, you don't find anything out of the ordinary. You do see scattered nails all over the place. A lot of them are bent. It's a very large quantity of nails, so probably of some value. And they're just like
Pick up
everywhere.
the nails. We can melt them down.
Sorik, you see a crate of children's toys that's just like scattered everywhere, and just like all over the place. There's also you see a crate with the number. You see a fragment of a crate with the number 38 marked on the side, and as you start poking through this broken crate, it has a whole bunch of stuffed geese in it. Stuffed geese.
Like with feather? Like stuffed like taxidermy? Or like
taxidermy
roasted?
style.
Okay.
Yeah, I was thinking like Christmas
Yeah.
goose, like, yeah.
Not turducken.
Nope, not cooked, not ready to eat. Like a bunch of taxidermy, like stuffed geese. Nora, as you're poking through, you see a crate marked with a 39 on it, like scratched on one of like the lower corners, and there's a bunch of broken jars in this crate.
Did they have substance in them, or is it just like they were gonna go can and then the jars got broken before
They
they
look
got
like
a can?
they must have contained some sort of
Pickles.
pickles. Yeah, vinegar. It's vinegar, actually.
I think we would smell that.
So I think Sork would, maybe looking over the shoulder, see the 38 and 39, and he'd mention, okay, so 38 said delicate contents with illicit substance inside, do not jostle. Marked private, paid in full by FL, whoever that is. These are stuffed geese?
Stuffed with illicit substance? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, maybe we should unstuff them.
But wait, no, I'm serious. What was the jars like all over? Like, was it wet? Did it smell like anything? Like
Broken jars. It's make an Arcana check. I think we talked about this last time a little bit.
I think we did too, but all I wrote down was toys and nails.
It smells like a magical residue, like the scent of sulfur, and like in the air, kind of seems to be emanating from these jars.
I'm thinking this probably, yeah, right? This was whatever summoned those creatures was in these jars, and they were jostled when the Struthon got jumpy.
Interesting.
They did tell them not to jostle them. I guess that is fair.
Yeah, I think having like cargo that you're not supposed to jostle being pulled by a kangaroo is probably not the safest thing.
Now, the note to do not jostle was on the container that had the geese in it.
Oh, so we should cut open these geese. Let's check out what's in there.
Oh, it can't hurt.
Hey, Sorik, use
will-
that knife that you found.
As you start,
That you deserve, that you earned.
as you guys are saying this, the tiefling, the young tiefling guy, he says, "Well, don't cut into those. That might come out of my paycheck."
Buddy, your paycheck is so far gone. We saved your life, dude. This is not at the time. Do you want to be questioned about these illicit substances, or do you want to let us investigate?
This is the Duke, man.
Okay. I just. All right. Okay.
Why don't you could start picking up nails. That could be useful.
Yeah, that's a good idea. And he motions to the Goliath, and he says, "Ronder, can you come help me get these put together?" And the two of them start, scooping up as many of the nails as they can and putting them back into the boxes.
Sork is going to pull out a dagger and pick up one of the geese and kind of delicately try to open it up. He's not just going to like plunge the knife in willy-nilly, but kind of like see if he can't pick apart
Okay, why don't you make just like a sleight, since you're trying to be delicate about it, make a sleight of hand check.
19.
Awesome. So you're feeling, looking for seams and trying to do this as delicately as possible, and you find a spot where the taxidermist had been very delicate about, making a small incision, opening up to fill in whatever was put into these geese, and you find that, and you're able to cut just those threads, sewing that piece together. It's kind of on like the lower breast of the goose, and you open it up, and as you look inside, there is like wool cloth and some feathers, and it just looks very mundane inside.
Maybe it's not in just one. Maybe it's only in one of them. Maybe we have to cut them all open.
How many are there? Is it a whole cart, or is it just like a couple in a crate?
Oh, they're like scattered everywhere. There's like 20 of them.
All right, guys, let's start cutting into these.
I mean, Duke Grandis, did you want us to see what's in here? It says there's illicit substances in here. Like,
The Duke nods his head, and he says, "Yes, this is probably something we should look into. I don't think we should tarry much longer here. Let's get this sorted and hit the road again soon."
Dirk thinks to himself, finally I get to take my revenge against geese.
And he takes his axe and he just straight up chops the head off of one of them and then starts digging through it.
I have bird blindness though, so I don't know what.
My goodness, is Dirk drooling right now?
Please don't hack it to death. I know it's already dead, but Jesus.
Just straight up. I mean, like, it's like, do you remember in A Christmas Story when they go to the Chinese restaurant at the end of the movie and they just like, it's smiling at us. He's like, oh, just takes out the cleaver and just chops the head right off. That's exactly what Dirk is doing.
Yes, you chop it off,
Beautiful.
and like chunks of wool go flying in the air as you sever the head of this goose.
I'm going to look at the wool. Is there anything special about the wool, or is it just seem to be lamb's wool?
Lamb's wool, undyed.
Can I do like an Arcana check on any of these geese just to see if they've like got some vibes going on?
Make an Arcana check.
20, not natural.
That's a good roll.
Gentlemen's.
Yes. Or a lady's 20. Could be a gentleman's or a lady's 20.
Madame's.
Madame's 20. You do detect like a hint of magic used in the construction of these geese, but nothing inside of them is magical.
Would that be almost kind of normal for fancy taxidermy? Like, not unreasonable? Okay.
Yeah, you think, maybe some like kooky magician's hobby is to make taxidermy animals.
I mean, the preservation seems quite excellent. Even a little magical, but not... I'm not detecting anything illicit here.
Is it possible that the geese were almost like the packing styrofoam? Medieval fantasy packing styrofoam?
Sometimes your guys' ideas are way better than mine.
were these like the king's geese? Were these illegally hunted and taxidermied? Is that maybe not so much what's in them or what they are, but where they came from?
They're golden geese.
The Duke looks at Sharn, and Sharn shakes her head no back to the Duke, and the Duke says, "No, I don't believe that that these are protected. Now there is a protected forest to the south of the city that only the royal family can hunt in, but I don't believe geese are part of that."
Isn't it like the royal family of England is the only ones who can eat swan? Is that like one of the rules?
Yeah. There's a lot of medieval countries had rules like that where you could not hunt. Like it was considered poaching in a lot of the areas.
All right, well, I'm just going to keep digging through these, see if I find anything inside any of them. We're going to ruin all of them. And then we can go.
You ruin all of them. Just like torn, hacked up to pieces, and you find nothing out of the ordinary.
Huh.
Denny's looking over your shoulder, Sorik, and he says, "Have you had your fun?"
So, Sorik is like scratching his head. He is thoroughly confused about all of this. He's like, "I don't understand it, Denny. why would they write on presumably the hidden ledger that entry 38, delivery 1 crate marked delicate glass, do not jostle. Instruction, delicate contents with illicit substance inside, do not jostle. Marked private, paid in full by FL. And we find near this crate 38 just a bunch of geese.
That doesn't seem to add up.
No. No, it does not.
Hey guys, I'm just remembering that we're not customs officials.
No, we're not.
The guard behind you says, I am. That's part of my job.
So, like, when this says it's illicit materials, like, this is exactly what you'd be doing too, right?
Yeah, we were supposed to poke through their boxes. I let this one go through. Apparently they had some illicit goods, but these just look like geese. And he looks at the Duke like very nervously, and the Duke says, "It seems like it's just geese. You're okay."
Maybe the person who was packing them couldn't count and thought 38 was 39.
Interesting. Well, entry 39 says powders and salves listed as medicinal supplies. The instruction is to be split and smuggled across the north gate of Rosvane. Payment upon delivery by GH.
Well, clearly they were something else, though, since, they smell like hell. If they were demons and
As the two guys are scooping up nails, they're having a quiet conversation, like a whispered conversation between the two of them.
Can I try to overhear them?
Of course.
You know what? Take a calming breath and try really hard. So that's a 28.
Okay.
Whoa, that's amazing.
That's really, yeah, okay. You hear like perfect clarity. The tiefling, he's kind of scooping, and he's timing when he talks, like as he's like running his hands over the nails, so it's like making a lot of noise, and he's whispering towards the guy next to him, like when he's making the most noise possible. And so he's doing this like intentionally to make it difficult, but you're just like keyed in like perfectly. Maybe, you're great at reading lips or something. But you like can hear everything. And he says, I don't think we'll get paid very much for this delivery. We need to get back to B&W shipping as soon as possible. And the heavier set guy, the Goliath, he's not as adept at sneaking, and he's not like timing his words with anything in particular. He's just like responding in like kind of like a burly, grumbly voice, like just like a really low growl. And he says, "We got the Duke right here. We can't just like walk away. I guess we could hop on this Truthon, but..." And then the tiefling kind of shushes him. He says, "Your voice is too resonant. Quiet." And then he says, "We'll just do what we can to clean this up, and we'll deliver what we have left, and see what they want us to do from there. But I think this shipment is gone. We can deliver the letters at least."
So, hey, what, surely you had some other cargo here on this. Do you have any letters to be delivered? I'm sure the Duke would be interested to know who else was going to be communicated with.
Oh, the tiefling man stands up. I don't know if I described him last time.
Yeah, I think we questioned him and he seemed like not suspicious, but now I think he might be suspicious.
He's very young. He's got like short black hair with kind of like the Superman curl like hanging down in between the horns that arc back over his head. He's in kind of like a plain brown wool tunic with like a small blue vest over it. He stands up and he looks at you, Dirk, and he says, "Oh, the letters? Yeah, those we just run between cities. Those letters there, those are from Dunmire. And Dunmire, most of you guys would be fairly familiar with the geography of Narvethis. Dunmire is a city on the western coast. It's kind of on the border of Revaloon and Senvara, and it's part of the Revaloon Duchy, and it's on the Wavelorn Sea."
Okay.
Wait, are they from there or are they bound there?
They are from there
Where are they bound then?
Bound to Rosvane.
Anybody want to check the post before we head out?
Then he leans over to Sorik and he says, "We would be making a stop at B&W shipping regardless."
Yeah, I think they need to explain a few things to me, specifically about whatever it is they've got going on here. And as for the drivers themselves, are we sure that they didn't know or were aware? I feel like we need to maybe have a deeper conversation. Do I have a sense from either of them that like one of them might be the leader of that?
Just from like your interactions that you've had, the tiefling looks like more of a like roguish type, and the Goliath is much more of like a bruiser. Like he's like strong, heavy set, like probably could hold himself in a fight. Not that the tiefling could fight. He doesn't look like a fighter. He just looks like a little, lithe and a little wiry. He probably works for B&W, and the hired muscle could work for them, or he could be like a hired bodyguard. He could be part of the company or a hired hand.
Got it. I think what I'd do is I would kind of tap Dirk on the shoulder and say, "Come with me, Dirk. I think I might need your help." And we'll go over to the tiefling and like walk him over to the edge, so he's a little bit more out of earshot of the other guy.
Okay.
I'll follow, yeah.
Sork's going to kind of interrogate him a little bit, hopefully with a little bit of Dirk's help.
You guys can't kiss.
You can't tell us what to do.
Is anyone stopping the Goliath, or like standing with him, or what's your plan with him?
I don't know if somebody also wants to like simultaneously question him. They could give that a shot.
I mean, yeah, I don't think we would draw him off. I think, while you guys were chatting with the tiefling, we might put a little pressure on him.
Okay.
We got this, Echo.
Yeah.
Sharn will follow Nora and Echo up to the Goliath. Sorik and Dirk, as you approach the tiefling and you're kind of standing over the edge, the drop is pretty far. It's at least 20, 30 feet down from where you're at.
I tried to jump off this with the Duke. I tried to force him to jump off the bridge.
It's a big river, and it's a big bridge that spans the length of it. And the tiefling is he's looking nervous. He doesn't look like he's ever been in a fight. And he's kind of intimidated by the two of you walking him over there.
So I think Sorik is going to try to put him at ease a little bit. I'm going to like walk over to the edge of the bridge and kind of rest on it. And he kind of say offhandedly to the individual, "Well, this has been a rather eventful afternoon, if you don't mind me saying so. How are you holding up through all of this?"
Well, I honestly, I'm grateful that you guys came when you did. I probably would have died otherwise.
Well, that would have been a much greater tragedy. I'm sorry about the shipment. I can imagine that your employers are going to not be super thrilled, and something tells me that this may impact potentially what your income may be through all of this. And let me just say, I understand, and I'm sorry that that's the case. In that, like, in me saying these things, if I can slip in a little bit of thieves' cant as well.
Of course, yeah.
Something that he might pick up on, just so he can kind of understand, like, I'm in the know a little bit.
Okay. I'm assuming you're trying to like maybe persuade a little, or
yeah. Ultimately, like, I'm trying to get him to be a little bit at ease and more amiable, like a little bit more, disposed to potentially help us. But yeah, ultimately, what I'm hoping to do is try to get some info through persuasion with him.
So I'll lower the difficulty because you're doing thieves' cant on your check.
So, look, I understand that you've got to make a livelihood, and I understand the organization you're working for sometimes will have you deliver things that would normally not be very above board with the guards. Don't worry, I brought you over here so that way we don't have to notify the guards or even the Duke himself. But as you can imagine, we're going into Rosvane. We're going into the capital during a rather tumultuous time. And things like this, it's difficult to see this, as just an accident itself. Now, I don't want to rush to any conclusions here, but any information you can provide, let's just say the Duke would be very grateful.
Make your persuasion check.
And Dirk's folding his arms and looking at him to give him advantage. Oh, never mind. You don't need it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nat 20 for a 26.
So he, as soon as you start kind of speaking in code and in thieves' cant to him, he kind of is at ease almost immediately, and he glances at the Duke, and he starts talking. And to Dirk, it just sounds like he's talking about the weather and the river and that sort of thing. But what you understand, Sorik, he says, B&W probably won't be too upset by this. I'm more worried about what Quick Quill will do. But that's just the life that we live. I'll probably be put to some menial task for a bit to make up for this.
Got it. Is Quick Quill the ones that ultimately commissioned the or had the goods on consignment? Like who were they?
No, because you got a nat 20, he's going to be pretty forthcoming with you. He says, no, you must not be from the city. No, Quick Quill, he's the leader of the Black Ledger.
Oh, I understand. Yeah, I haven't been to the city in a long time, and when I came through, it was only fleeting, so...
Yeah, no, it's, I get it. And he glances back at the Duke again. Denny's going to approach and be part of the conversation, too. He kind of glances at the Duke and at the general, Kirkmid behind him, and then back to you guys, and he says, you guys are loyal customers, although, Duke Grend here doesn't usually acquire our services. The others do. So you guys are potential customers of ours.
Indeed, and we value the relationships we have with all of those who assist us in the various ways that we need them to assist us. A quick question, if I may. Do you know why this was being transported? Anything about the shipment itself? Is this just random accident, or is it possible, do you think, that perhaps whoever had commissioned this may have been trying to waylay our good Duke here?
He looks between you and Denny, and he says, look, I on the ledgers they give us, it doesn't say who the person is. When I get this to B&H Shipping, it's on the north side of it's actually not part of Rosvane, it's part of Breckenfold, but it's the north side of the river. There's a whole shipping district, and that's where our headquarters is. Get that to B or W over there, and they're going to be the ones who know who GH is or FL. So I can't give you any more information on that. So my job here is to just run shipments back and forth. They give me, I carry lots of gold, but it's mostly just to line pockets and make sure I get across borders. So it's not mine.
Sure. I understand. Is there anything that you can, when we go to speak with them, they're going to be reluctant to speak with us. Is there anything like a passphrase or a token that we can provide them that will help to put them at ease?
So B&W, I don't know how familiar you are with that. It's actually like its own company. But that company is a front for the Black Ledger. It's run by Hagar Wedge and Oliver Biggs. Oliver is he's
I love it.
I said it backwards. I was hoping that you guys would still get it. He says Oliver's pretty scrupulous with the ledgers that he keeps. He's going to be the one that would know where it goes. Friendly sort. Can be bribed pretty easily. Money always works, but so does so does a good night of drinks out on the town. He loves to gamble too. You might be able to get it at a gambling table from him.
Understood. Thank you for taking the time and speaking with us. Sork's going to reach into his pocket and pull out 5 gold and kind of clasp his hand and slip 5 gold into his hand.
He nods his head and he says, "Oh, sir, much obliged. Much obliged."
And before he lets go of the hand, Sork's going to like stare him in the face and say, "The Duke rewards those who are loyal to him and has very little patience with those who are not. Just remember that. Now be careful." And he'll let him go.
He does like a twist of his hand, and the coin vanishes, and twists it back, upright, and it's back in his hand again. And he says, "We're loyal to the gold." And he flicks his hand again, and it disappears. He says, "But you're paying me right now."
Cool.
Beat him up. That was too cocky.
Having heard this entire conversation, like in Thieves' Cant, as they're done with this conversation, walking back, Dirk's like,
Well, that's crazy. I didn't realize you knew his grandparents. And then, like, talking about the crop futures and stuff. Weird conversation, man.
There's a lot of information there that he was able to divulge. And so I'm assuming the tiefling is like maybe walked off or...
Yeah, he'll start walking off, and he's going to go rejoin with the Goliath. But we're gonna go over to that conversation with the Goliath. So while that other conversation's happening, Nora and Echo approach the Goliath. And he's really tall, kind of gray skin. He's got like a blue tattoo on his forehead.
Oh, hello there, dearie. You're with the company, yes?
Ma'am, or priestess. Yeah, we're with B&W.
Now, what does that stand for again?
The owners, Biggs and Wedge.
Biggs and Wedge. Ah, yes, I remember them.
Yep, just a shipping company, nothing, nails and letters and such. We just move things around.
I feel like we came up on this kind of late, but how did your beast here slip its tether?
Oh, it had been acting spooked maybe a mile out when we stopped to do the inspection here. The guards were poking through the crates, and I don't know, there's truth on here. Normally a pretty mellow beast, They just kind of acting jittery and bolted. Broke the harness and just ran off. And I was chasing after it, trying to, wrangle it back into calming it down so I could get it back to the wagon and get on moving again. That was maybe, 5 minutes before you all showed up.
And did anything happen a mile out that might have spooked it?
I don't know. It was just acting funny. I don't know much about animals or magics and such, so I don't know what could have done it.
Magics and such? You think there might have been something magical that spooked it? I mean, aside from the demons, do you guys normally have demons attack your caravan?
No, this is the first. It's usually, we'll get like bandits, that sort of thing on the roads, trying to take us out. They usually mark our wagons over some of the others. They'll find a good merchant wagon occasionally, but being B&W shipping, we've usually got something valuable on board, so they pick on us a lot. That's why I'm here. But no, magic stuff, no, things like this, that's a first. Never seen that before. You all, I can't believe you took those creatures down. That was crazy.
Oh, all in a day's work.
Well, hopefully you get paid well for that kind of work.
Extra if there's blood.
That's the best part.
If you're carrying a lot of like precious, fragile cargo, is this like spookable jumping thing maybe the best means of transport for it?
Oh, it kind of just hops along. It's not too bad. It's slow moving and friendly, and they're pretty cheap, and they'll eat just about anything.
Sounds like my ex.
And nothing happened that might have jostled the cart or anything when it started getting weird?
We had some wind earlier on. I mean, it's windy here, too. That kind of jostles the cart a little. But I don't remember anything out of the ordinary, no.
Between you and me, you did mention, and I just, as a cleric, I was just thinking about magic, and you did mention it. Do you think there might be anything else in this wagon that has some sort of magical or value? I mean, we found this ledger, and it said that box number 38 might have some illicit substances, and all we could find was geese. And again, we're not hating. I'm just wanting to make sure nothing bad happens.
Look, for the most part, we don't open the boxes when they're given to us. So I never know what's in there. That's not my job. My job is to keep him safe. And he kind of points at the tiefling who's still talking to Sorik, Dirk, and Denny. They're talking about tilling fields and rotating crops every couple of years.
Who gives you the crates, though?
We've got a warehouse out in Dunmire, but our main office is here in Rosvane. We've got offices in most of the cities in the country.
But it wasn't FL or GH that dropped off the box directly to y'all?
Oh, I'm sure they did. Or, well, maybe through an intermediary.
But not to you. You got it from the warehouse. The warehouse would be the one to know him.
Somebody loads the wagons up. Zavros and I, we just hop aboard and move along.
Seems a little bit like a dangerous job if you don't know what you're carrying, and it could be demon bombs.
This was a
9/11
first.
this bridge.
Oh,
It's the first time something had gone wrong.
You're right. It is more dangerous, but it pays good, so I guess it's worth it. And it beats being a bandit. I'm not. I'm breaking the law in a way that doesn't get me in jail.
That's all you can ask for, honestly, in this economy.
Yep. Okay. As you guys finish these conversations, the Duke kind of gathers everybody back together, and as he's walking up, he and Kirkman are talking briefly, and the customs guards are there, both the Velmirith and the Raveloon ones, and he says, confiscate everything that's in this wagon except for the letters. They can take the letters on with them, leave them with their struth on, and they can go to Rosvane with the letters. And he kind of motions to the rest of the group. He says, we need to get back on our horses, and we need to get moving back towards the city. Anything else that we need to do, or are we ready to go?
No, I believe that we're ready to go, my lord.
All right, then let's get to it then. We're gonna fast forward a little. It's about 2 more days of travel. You'll get there pretty quickly, but there's a couple of things that are going to happen on the road, and I think we will roll initiative, and we will go through those things in order.
Oof, Dirk got a 4.
Sork got a 17.
Echo got a 19.
Nora got a 19.
Dang.
Twinning.
I have no dex, so if you want to go first, Nora.
Okay.
So for the listeners, the players are now level 3. And as part of level 3, it's usually like to have some sort of big change with their character sheet, some new ability. So we're gonna go through each character and talk about the development or how they got this new ability, some character moment that happens in their travels to Rosvane. So we'll start with Nora.
So Nora is definitely, to be honest, feeling a little bit confident, but also surprised, because she was not necessarily expecting to have so much hands-on experience. Her goal was to kind of get to the temple and then be mentored further. But I think as she is meditating at night and writing in her journal, she's writing about Thorndale and the Forgotten Town, and I can make a roll if you want about how much I remember, but she's just kind of trying to write down like every single thing about the folks. Like the serving boy, had blue eyes and he smiled at me kindly, and the bartender was talking about getting married next spring. Like just trying to remember everything she can about those people. And I think that that's kind of when Myron would come to her.
So what does praying look like for Nora? Is this what prayer is to her? Just like keeping those memories?
Yeah, so I think it's more of a meditation, and it can kind of take different forms. I don't think that it's necessarily, especially for Nora specifically, the act of actually getting on your knees and like speaking aloud to some being, especially because that's not really Myron's style. Like obviously she doesn't talk, and I think she's kind of a humble goddess where she really values the like listening and the humility. So yeah, instead of like praying out loud, I think you do your acts of devotion by your acts of remembrance, your acts of beauty, and your respect of like knowledge.
So I imagine as you're writing these memories down, you kind of enter that trance-like state where you're thinking hard more about these memories than you are about actually the act of writing. And so you're just writing on this page everything that you can think of. And without knowing it, the words that you're writing, you start turning the book a little bit and like, rotating it here in different directions, and you're just filling the page with so much. And you're having this moment of like elevated emotion. You feel like really in tune with keeping these memories, and you feel like this is very pleasing to Mirren. And as you're kind of in this flow state of like writing and recording, you feel a distinct presence with you, not like a bodily presence, but you feel like you're being watched. But it's comforting, and this is maybe familiar. I think that Nora has felt Mirren's presence before, like her direct observation. Like this is what it feels like when she is looking at you, and you know that you're being observed by her. There's just like this warmth about it. This it feels like you are seen, like you feel like you are remembered by Mirren, and she sees you and what you're doing, and you know that she's very happy with what you're doing as well. Communication that you've had with her in the past isn't verbal. She herself has taken a vow of silence and does not talk. You feel what she's thinking more than hear what she's thinking. You feel a sense of urgency. You feel chosen. But there's also when she's thinking about, you don't get like sentences, you're getting like her emotions more than like actual words. When she's thinking about you being chosen, she thinks almost like for a moment you feel like you're being shared. Like not only chosen by her. And it makes you feel like a little tinge of jealousy.
Ooh, man. Like
she feels like you're hers, and she's a little jealous. And then that quickly goes away. As you're feeling this warm embrace from her presence around you, your eyes kind of snap back together, and you look at this page that you were writing words, and there's like full sentences of memories, but as you look at it, the words shape a whole drawing of your brooch, the brooch that you were given during your initiation. Like you'll have darker words and smaller words like written around in different angles. You like curved your writing to shape out your exact brooch. And as you feel the presence of Mirren kind of leave you, and you're staring at this page, the brooch isn't empty anymore. It's full of these different symbols. And I'll let you describe what those symbols are in the four quadrants of your brooch.
Yeah, so I kind of imagine it like a shield, a house sigil kind of thing with the four quadrants. And in the upper right-hand corner is like a swan with a like white swan with a curved neck. And then the other upper corner is kind of like an image of Mirren with, her mouth sewn shut. And then on the bottom, on the right, you have a book kind of representing knowledge. The swan represented beauty, obviously. The swans are gorgeous. Obviously. And then bottom, like an open book, kind of like a illuminated manuscript, kind of representing knowledge. And then like some stars in the sky on the bottom left quadrant, kind of symbolizing eternity, remembrance. That's at least the vibes that Nora gets.
As you're examining this and you feel the presence of Mirren leave you, you feel stronger. Like you feel like if you prayed to her, she would grant you more power than you had before. Awesome. So we're going to go to Echo now. So that was like the first night or first evening on the road. Echo. What is Echo doing? Is it that same first evening, or when did you want your event to take place?
Yeah, I think it would have been the first evening. I think Echo has a habit of, when we make camp or stop for the evening, kind of going for walks in whatever like wooded area is nearby. It's just kind of a comforting reminder of home type thing.
Yeah.
So I would imagine that she, that first night, is out for a walk and just kind of listening to the sound of the trees kind of creaking as wind moves through them, little frogs chirping and birds and bugs. And I think that as she's walking, she notices that the noises start to diminish until it is dead silent. And I think she feels like there is something like that wants to interact. And I think she has an idea that like she extends an invitation to whatever is there and wants to talk.
So I imagine that you're walking through the forest and you're feeling that presence, and you're maybe like really angry or frustrated, maybe some frustrated emotions about the reapings. Remind me, was it your brother or sister that was reaped?
Baby brother.
Baby brother. Okay. So maybe some frustration with that, and residual emotions from Tharndell. Like there's a lot going on in Echo's head, and like there's kind of like this like maybe anger kind of bubbling up to the surface from that. As you're walking, you feel like a weird like squirming sensation in your left hand, and it's like an itch like under the skin, and you try to get massage it out, kind of feel what's happening there, and it just won't go away. It starts getting like bigger and bigger, and then you look. It's late at night, but you've got dark vision, and so you look at your hand and you see there's like something moving under your skin in the palm of your hand, and it like freaks you out a little bit, and you jump back, and when you jump back, you bump into a tree, and you actually cut along the bottom of your hand. So opposite your thumb, the bottom of your hand, running like a long cut, running from almost your wrist clear up to the base of your pinky. And as you're staring at your hand, no blood is coming out. It just your skin just opens, and this writhing thing that's moving, it's inches long. It's easily 2 inches long, like swirling around inside your skin. It crawls out of this opening in your hand, and the first thing you see are 2 large antennae, and then some pincers, and lots of legs, as this red and gray centipede crawls out from the wound in your hand and kind of swirls and starts like moving all up and down in between your fingers and like all around your hand. And then it kind of like spasms and like hardens into a circle. And you see a cut form along its back. And then there's a small trickle of like golden blood that starts to pour out from this creature.
Echo is going to see that very much as an offering being made and understanding that you don't get something for nothing. She is going to take out a small, I guess like glass bottle, a little vial, and slide the centipede into it and cap it and create this sort of little reliquary type thing. Is it still moving?
It is like very slowly moving. You see the legs wiggling. It seems to be alive still.
Okay.
And as you're looking at it too, in this jar, the golden trickle is consistent. Like it's still like that blood that's coming out of it, the golden blood. You think within the hour, maybe 2, it will be all the way full. And as you're looking at it and examining it, the centipede seems to be moving around, like, you know, like spinning in circles, like exploring the glass a little bit. And it seems to be alive in there. And as it moves through the spaces where the golden blood has filled it, it vanishes in the substance. And you see like just like the scratch of its like hundreds of legs against the glass. And so you don't see its body when it's moving around in the liquid, but you see the disturbance of the gold and like the feet kind of moving across the glass surface.
Ooh, that's so good. Echo is going to just hold the bottle in her hand. Is her hand still cut?
Oh, that's such a good question. When you look at your hand, you see a small trickle of golden blood come out of the base of your hand. And then, as you're staring at it, the wound closes.
Echo is going to hold the bottle, and she is just going to say to, like, the silent air around her, yeah, I accept. I don't know who you are, but I accept.
Why don't you make a religion check real quick?
Okay, 15.
Oh, that's actually pretty good.
For Echo it is.
Yeah. Echo, you know that this does not come from one of the Ascendants. This gift is from one of the Forsworn. You know which Forsworn. You recognize the symbol of the hand bleeding golden blood. And you recognize that symbol as the god Thorin Woundkeeper.
I think Echo has the privilege of not having lived so remote. I think that she just sees all gods as power, and I think that she understands that that he is probably not going to be super popular, and she may not. She may keep it on the DL for folks. But I think that she just feels grateful to have access to something that might help her resolve something that she has been kind of agonizing over for quite a while now.
Yeah. And as someone that isn't from the cities or city life, maybe unaware of repercussions that might be in a city for someone that worships or is affiliated with one of the Forsworn, they're not persecuted, but it is definitely taboo. So I think there would be some apprehension. Like I really shouldn't talk to people about this because I don't know what the response is going to be.
Yeah.
As long as your god doesn't take us into a shadowland where everything's dead and dying and you're just like, oh no, it's good, dude.
Yeah. All right. I think next we have Jordan.
So I'm assuming at this point we've like remounted our horses and we're marching off. Is that right?
Yeah, so this will probably be day 2. So like the day 1 is all done, and you've had lots of interactions with everybody. Talking with Denny and Sharn and the Duke and Kirkmid and Fulbert, and the rest of the group. You guys are getting closer, so you're having lots of interactions throughout travel.
I think at some point during the ride, when they're just trotting kind of at a leisurely pace, Sork will look kind of to his left and to his right, make sure nobody is paying particular attention to him, and he'll reach into one of the saddlebags that he has, and he'll pull out a journal, and it's kind of bound with a leather cord kind of wrapped around it to keep it sealed closed, and doesn't look like it's something that he has pulled out or looked at very often, because it's pretty tightly bound and wrapped. He gingerly kind of unwraps it, unties the leather cord, and cracks open this journal, and starts to read a little bit in it. What the journal contains is the writings of his grandfather, Kerdai Blackmere, who was a human, and he's writing about 2 things in particular. One is a weapon called the Falcorusavir, the Blackmere family blade, which was a kind of mysterious heirloom weapon of the family, a short sword that appears to be sort of blood-bound to the patriarch of the family, whomever that may be. This weapon is somewhat magical in nature, seems to be perhaps from a different plane of existence, because whoever the patriarch of the Blackmere family is, they seem to be able to essentially conjure this thing at will. It has a dark gunmetal black blade that has something of a Damascus pattern kind of apparent in the metal grain. It's kind of curving, maybe about 20 inches to 24 inches long, so it's a short sword. It has a cross guard that's kind of a flowing, kind of shiny silver, and it's inlaid with small rubies, and the handle is kind of wrapped in some sort of leather that doesn't seem to be a normal leather of some creature. It has ridges on it, unlike anything that you would find from most animals here. And then the pommel of it is inlaid with this black onyx gem. And to cut with the Falcorusavir is to essentially, it doesn't leave a mark. It behaves and is weighted and even slides, through objects as though it is a true blade. But when it's pulled back, it doesn't leave any sort of a mark or indication that it was there. But the eyes of the victim will kind of fade to be pure black for a moment. And it's something about the nature of the blade that when it actually strikes, it goes right to the mind of the individual and essentially attacks them in their psyche, causing real damage to them. But it's to their mind.
Is it emotional damage?
So Sork, he's kind of thinking to himself, he hasn't needed to wield this for decades. His life has been pretty comfortable and safe. But over the events of the last few days in particular, he felt the need to essentially reconnect with this blade. In the journal that he has in particular, he's reading the thoughts of his grandfather, who wrote extensively about the blade itself, but also about the gift that the family has, something that they've called the Fjosrach, which is some sort of a mental clarity, almost a somewhat psionic ability. And as you refine it and as you gain greater understanding of what you can do with this, for the most part, it helps to accentuate your own actions, helps to improve the success of the things, almost like a burst of mental clarity. And whether the family was possessed of this ability before they received the blade, or that it's a result of the attunement to the blade, nobody really knows. But there is some sort of a connection there. And so it's been a long time since Sork has had to try to use those skills, but the sense of foreboding is so strong that he feels compelled to revisit his grandfather's writings. Now, something that may be interesting to note is when you see on the cover of the book where the grandfather had written his name, it is obscured because he himself had been reaped.
Was that the first person that Sork was close to that was reaped?
Yeah, so in his background, he's half elven. His mother was an elven maiden who passed during childbirth, and Sork was with his father, who was a good man, raised him for many years, but he himself died when he was about 12 years old. And so Sork was raised by his human grandfather for, another 10, 15 years. And then when he was in his early 20s, mid-20s, that's when Kerdai was reaped. And that's when Sork also realized that he could effectively remember him. This was early on when reapings had just started. And, he didn't realize how rare it was that he could actually remember his grandfather until he, went to a larger city and then realized that nobody else could do that. And so he started to use that to his advantage.
What does attunement to this blade look like? Is there anything that Sork has to do?
Not at this point, because he is the patriarch of the family. And so to Sork, it feels like a muscle he only needs to flex in order for it to be there. It can appear essentially in a moment into his hand and then disappear in something of a black puff of smoke that quickly vanishes. And so it's not something that I think he fears it because he doesn't understand it. And so he doesn't like to just revel with the use of this, whatever it is, item that's been part of the family tradition for a long time. But he knows that it's powerful, and so he's kind of re-engaging with that and trying to see if he can learn from his grandfather, perhaps, on how he can better harness whatever those abilities are that the family seems to possess, as well as whatever this blade may be capable of doing.
I think that if anybody outside of the party looked at this journal, it would just all be obscured. All of the writing.
Yeah, I think that's probably fair, yeah. And that's one of the reasons why Sork, is kind of careful when he pulls it out. He doesn't, people would very clearly see him reading a bunch of information from somebody that was reaped, and it would be a dead giveaway of his gift. So he's pretty careful about trying not to be obvious when he's doing this.
So as you're looking at this, do you summon the blade while you're riding on the horse, or are you just thinking about it and deciding that you need to do this, or that you're ready to call it forth again?
I think he would, but the way he does it to kind of try to be clever with it is he'll reach his hand into his inner coat pocket as though he's unsheathing it, and will kind of pull it out of essentially nothingness, but reaching into his inner coat pocket. He's going to be trying to leverage these innate gifts a little bit more and see if he can't develop them a little bit more as well.
Cool. Very cool. All right. Last but not least, we have Dirk.
All right. So Dirk has, over the past couple of days, started to feel kind of the weight of this responsibility. We talked last time, or a couple episodes ago, about how anxious he feels with his new responsibility as, protector of the Duke. And he's realized that he's never going to be as good as he could be if he's still trying to fight like Ursula. Ursula is the woman who taught him to fight. I've mentioned before, Ursula was reaped, leaving Dirk the only one who remembers her. But he was in love with her. He was in awe of her, and he kind of felt a responsibility to her memory to try to fight the way that she taught him. But he's kind of realizing that he's not going to be able to keep her memory alive if that's what gets him killed. And he's mentioned before that he had studied magic, almost like a brief internship with an elementalist to see if that was kind of his path when he was younger. And he still remembers enough. He actually took to it pretty well. So he's been trying to kind of figure out a way to use his skills more efficiently instead of, again, Ursula was like 6 feet tall. There may have been some Goliath in her, but she was a human woman. So she
Hell yeah. Climb that tree, baby.
Yeah, well, I mean, so in my mind, Ursula, if you ever played Assassin's Creed Odyssey, she's very much Cassandra from that game.
Oh yeah, such a big crush on her.
Yeah, but darker hair, paler skin, but she even had like the side braid. She'd braid her own hair to get it out of her way, but because she was just braiding it herself, she just braided it to the side of her head type thing. Very, very similar feel. And like I said, Dirk was madly in love with her, and she kind of thought of him as her little brother, which kind of crushed him. But anyway, so he's been trying to work on ways to incorporate his magic into his meager magic into his fighting abilities. And so he's been thinking about that as they travel, and at night when like he's on watch, he would try to practice some things. And so he's trying to incorporate some more magic into what he does.
Okay.
One of the things specifically is he had at one point come across a scroll that would have taught him Misty Step. Obviously he's a level 3 Eldritch Knight, so he can't cast level 2 spells. He ended up selling it. That's actually one of the ways that he was able to afford some of his gear, was selling that magic scroll that he'd come upon. But he remembered, he read through it, tried to understand it, and he's been trying to replicate it. And he remembers enough, but it's corrupt enough that he's not transporting himself anywhere. But what he's found is that he can transport items of importance to him, significant objects to himself from somewhere else. And so that's kind of how he does his Eldritch Knight ability, where he can summon weapons to his hand. This is basically a corrupted, like weaker Misty Step.
Cool. Very cool. So he's like practicing at night. He's on watch, and he's just like tinkering around with his magics, and he figures out that he can teleport these weapons. Awesome.
Yeah.
Anything else that Dirk goes through?
I mean, if there's a god that wants to talk to him, sure, but I don't think. I think it's mostly just him kind of realizing, right, that his strengths are different than the person that he idolized. So,
yeah. Well, that's a powerful thing to learn, that you can be yourself and different and just as strong. Awesome. So the second night ends, and this is the night where you guys would have had a very strange pixelated dream. When you wake on the third morning, that's when Nora wakes up with that black cloak that we mentioned in the previous episode. This third day of travel is when you guys will arrive in the city of Rosvane. You're traveling along the Graithwain River, where it meets up with another tributary and widens quite a bit. As you're on the road with the rest of the retinue, you're headed to the east, and one of the first things you notice is across the river is a very tall, like pristine white wall, and there's like pink flowery banners waving at even intervals along the wall. And there's a couple of towers throughout the city. There's a couple of big temples in the distance, some really tall buildings. It's a pretty large city that you guys are coming up to. The largest city in the nation of Narveths.
Hopefully they have some baths for us.
There are baths. The players. So I have some tokens on the map of different places the players can visit as they're exploring the city and going to different locales.
I mean, I'm looking at a robot looks like a robot wearing a tank top reading the newspaper. That's pretty cool.
I will get to the tank top wearing newspaper reading robot very soon.
Okay.
So as you guys are approaching the city, the first things that you see is as you're, miles out, you get into like really thick farmlands. And the farmlands are on both the north and south side of the rivers. And there's, houses spread out pretty evenly. But then as you're getting closer and closer to the city, the houses are starting to get more and more dense. You see, kids running around, people working and talking. You pass little blacksmith shops and little grocery stores and bakeries and all sorts of things. Those that are familiar with the city of Rosvane know that this side of the river is called Breckenfold. It is it's like a suburb, if you will, of Rosvane. There's a shipping district on the far east side of Breckenfold. And that shipping district is the main shipping hub of the city.
Is that where we find B&W?
That's where you would find B&W shipping.
But could we find A&W on that side too?
I've been trying to make a joke about adding ice cream to B&W and enjoying a float, but
yes, maybe there might be an A&W. I'll have to go and make a new food chain for the world. There's the north side of the city. It's kind of dense with like packed houses. It's not a slum, although there are some more poorer districts in Breckenfold, but it's like densely packed houses. Lots of like the working people live in this part of the city. You've had some conversations about where you will stay a few times. Sharn was insistent on staying in an inn closer to the Hall of Petals, which is the keep where the king and his family used to live. That's where all of the royal affairs and the laws are administered, and that's on the west side of the city. There's an inn that the other Duke and Duchess will be staying in there. But Duke Grend has been adamant about staying at an inn, at least for the first night, called the Silver Lantern. And he hasn't said why, but there seems to be some frustration from Sharn that that's where they're going to stay. And it seems like this is where they stay the first night every time they come to Rosvane. Are there any conversations that you guys wanted to have? Anything that as you're riding on your horses through Breckenfold towards the destination of the Silver Lantern, are there any conversations that you guys wanted to have on the road?
I think Dirk would say to Echo,
All right, we're going to get... sorry, just a second, give me a second. I need to unplug this. I knew it was going to do that. I knew it.
Oh no, I'm so sorry. I didn't remember that was like the name of a virtual assistant when I picked my character name. I'm so sorry.
No, don't worry about it. I forgot to unplug it. I have been unplugging it. So it's my fault. And I couldn't reach it in time to unplug it before it responded. Okay, it's unplugged now. Anyway, so as we're going through Breckenfold, I think that Dirk would talk to Echo and say,
Be careful. Things are going to get a lot more compact around us. There's going to be a lot more people, a lot more buildings. So danger could come from anywhere.
Don't scare the poor girl, Dirk.
Echo is like gonna look over her shoulder, like anywhere.
Like anywhere, yeah. We gotta be on the Duke. Like we gotta protect him from any threats.
He didn't seem particularly amenable to our protections on the bridge.
Doesn't matter. That's our job.
Love it. I love
it's our job too.
yeah.
I mean, is there anything you want me to like? Should we set up shifts? Do we need to like keep watch overnight?
I mean, we will when in the inn where we're staying, sure. But as we're going through town, I mean, you keep an eye here on the right side of the road, and I'll keep an eye on the left.
Echo is gonna
plan.
Echo's gonna watch for a second and then be like, "What are we looking for? There's just like a lot of people."
Yeah. You gotta look for the people that have like murder in their eyes. You know, like
Robots with tank tops.
if you see anybody kind of approaching us, just be careful. There are going to be beggars. There are going to be, people who recognize him and want to shout out to him. There's going to be potentially a lot of distractions. Your job and mine is not to get distracted by them, but to keep our eye on the crowd and make sure that there's nothing coming for them. Okay?
All right.
I'm telling you this as your boss.
Wait, I thought we were peers.
I'm telling you this as the senior to your junior associate,
Oh, right. I am assistant to the regional quartermaster. That's right.
Yeah.
All right. I'll keep my eyes peeled. And Echo is gonna just like kind of more stressed than she has been this entire time. Just like start looking very intently.
And if you look at Dirk, he actually looks like he's a little bit relieved that he's not the only person watching everything like a hawk. So,
Oh.
That's great. Kirkman is more alert than he's been in all of your travels as well. So he seems to be looking around in all directions. As you guys start approaching the bridge leading to the city, for those patrons that have access to the wiki, this is the bridge from kind of the middle of the map in Breckenfold going south towards the city proper. The Duke kind of stops everyone on the front of the bridge. And that kind of everybody circles up. You've got Swordtender Blendis, and you've got Denny and Kirkman and Sharn, as well as all of you. And the Duke, he reaches into his shirt. He unbuttons it 2 times, and he reaches a hand in, and he pulls out kind of a hefty pouch. And he reaches in, and he pulls out 10 gold, and he hands it to Dirk.
oh,
Damn, you're rich, dude.
And he says, I believe these are your wages for the week.
Yeah, thank you. Do we want to get you where you're going first, though?
Well, in case you want to spend some money, figured I should pay you all before we get in.
Okay. I mean, if you were planning to go to a store, I guess I'd go with you. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. We're gonna head to the tavern first. Old friends I want to meet up with.
Okay.
You sure do seem excited about this tavern, your dukeliness.
Make an insight check.
Let's see, that is a 16.
He's like, you've probably you've been traveling with him for over a week now. You've never seen him get like super emotional about anything or like excitable about anything that's happening. He's like very excited right now. Like,
Oh, he's got a hoe.
yeah, maybe we'll see what happens. He reaches his hand back into the pouch and he pulls out another 10 gold and he hands it to Echo. He says, I think these are the wages we agreed on. Sharn butts in and she says, we didn't agree on anything, but okay. And the Duke says, it's fine. 10 gold for this week.
Can I make an insight check on what Sharn's whole thing was?
Oh, yeah, make an insight check.
18.
She doesn't like the guy's hoe.
No, she didn't. I mean, they hired you on, but there was like really never any conversation of what you're doing other than traveling. You get the idea that it was mostly just like you helped out and he wanted to give money, and now he's giving you more money than what she thought that you guys were going to give.
Okay.
You get the vibe that she second guesses a lot of what he does.
Okay.
He reaches in a third time, and she like looks at him like very concerned, and he pulls out another 10 gold and he hands it to Nora.
Oh, sir, you can't do that.
He says, no. I'm sure you'll want to go and do some shopping, or maybe get some alms or an offering for Mirren. This consider it my offering to your goddess.
Well, that seems fair. Nora will take it. She hesitated, though, like a lady.
Love it. As you guys start crossing the bridge, the Duke will discreetly also pay Sorik. is 25 gold for the week.
Ooh.
Perception check.
Oh, well, I was feeling really good, but now I feel cheated.
Oh, yeah. What did you get on your perception?
I got a 17. Did I notice that Sork got a lot more money?
Yeah. Sork, you did notice that the handful of gold that Sork was handed was a lot heftier than yours.
I need to get into management. Dang.
Too funny. Okay, so as you guys are crossing the bridge and you enter the gate, you are greeted by the guards. They recognize the heraldry on Kirkmid's armor, and some of them recognize the Duke, and they greet you guys, and you guys enter the city without any sort of issue. One of the first things that you notice when you get onto the inside of the city is there is a construct, a robot.
Salutations.
Yeah, that's
is-
definitely a robot wearing a tank top reading the newspaper.
Yeah, he's got a nice little book on his thing. He's cute.
It's wearing a tabard.
Oh, I see that there. Yeah, it's a tabard. Yeah, it's a tabard.
So it's an iron construct, very blocky and bulky looking, cylindrical style head with like glowing like yellow orb eyes. It is standing on a corner, and at its feet is a box of newspapers, and in one of its hands it's holding a newspaper. It's wearing a tabard. It's a white tabard over over its metal. It's not wearing any other clothes. It's just wearing this white tabard, and the tabard has a shield crest.
That's hot.
Oh, it is. It's so sexy, so clunky and sexy. It's the tabard has a shield crest on it, and inside that crest is an open newspaper. And this construct is talking and offering newspapers to the crowd.
Honestly, we're rich, and I haven't seen a robot before. I'll buy a newspaper.
It's as you guys are walking up and you see this robot. It's like hawking to the crowd and like shouting, and it says Rosvane Herald, a bodyguard's burden, newest edition. You know, some people are walking up and they're taking the newspaper.
A bodyguard's burden? That sounds like something you might need to read, Dirk.
That, you know what? I don't need to read it. I lived it. Dottie.
Why don't you guys make an insight check as you're walking up and they mentioned the name of this title.
Oof, nat 1 for a 2.
Sork got a 21.
Nora got a 12.
And Echo got a 6.
It makes the most sense for Sork to understand this, so I think the dice are telling the story that I think makes a lot of sense here. When it says bodyguard's burden, you're familiar with Duke Gren's background. This article is going to be about the Duke.
Interesting. I'll take one of those. I'll walk up to the construct.
He says 2 coppers, and he opens his mouth.
Do you have change for a gold piece?
I'll feed him.
What a unique way to do this.
Insert gold, change comes out.
From where?
All right.
Oh, God.
Well, just go ahead and bend over. I'll just get this. All right. Perfect. Well, I go ahead and insert my gold coin.
So you insert the gold coin, you hear a clink inside its belly somewhere, and then you hear some jangling rattles, sounds come from his left arm, and he opens his left hand and spits out the change. So it's 2 copper, and he spits out the silver and the copper change for your transaction. And he hands you this newspaper.
What does it say, Sork? Is it about me?
Rosvane awaits the arrival of Duke Durzel Grend of Revaloon, expected in the city days before the funeral of our late king. Once the private bodyguard of Duke Eldrin Colm, Grend inherited his title only when Colm abdicated and passed the mantle to him. Many have never forgotten that he rose from the pit of the gladiator's ring. I didn't know that. A place of spectacle rather than of statesmanship. What political skill he brings remains doubtful. Grend has never been known for subtlety, and whispers in the court already place their hopes upon Duchess Baessa Morant of Sinvara or Duke Calver Varnmore of Velmirith. Both command reputations of grace and tact in matters of governance. where Grind is seen more as an instrument of muscle than of mind. His arrival will no doubt stir curiosity, but few here in Rosvane expect the bodyguard of yesterday to hold the throne of tomorrow. By Sindral Vaynar, Editor-in-Chief. Well, it feels like the press is already up to some interesting shenanigans.
Yeah, maybe we ought to go pay a visit to the Cinderel and show him just how weak an instrument of muscle can be.
That's right, yeah.
That's what free press is about. I think our good Duke has it in hand to show these folks that he's more than just muscle.
I think you're right. It's just curious that they're already setting themselves against the Duke when the Duke has, as far as I know, not expressed any intentions towards taking the throne. Honestly, the reason I joined up with the Duke was because of those that I have met of political office, he has been one of the most honorable. So the nation would probably do well to have a king as selfless as he.
Or, at the very least, I'd like to keep him alive. Right, Dirk?
Yeah. Head on a swivel, right, Echo?
Echo looks over her shoulder again.
So, wait, like, how do they even choose? Who's making the decision? It's not like a vote among the people.
No, it's whoever can spit the furthest.
Oh. That can't be right, Nora.
That's filthy and I love it.
I think you misheard something back a ways back, Nora. I don't think that's how they do it.
Maybe not where you're from.
Maybe it's how they should do it.
As you guys are having this conversation, you're making your way through the city towards the Silver Lantern. The Silver Lantern is in the northern part of Rosvane, in kind of like a really wealthier part of town. You notice that most of the roadways are cobbled. There's like stone. It's like either cobbles or actually like marbled stones around. Everything's paved. There are like planter boxes and like sections where like trees are planted and there's like shrubberies and greeneries, but most of like when you're in the city proper is very white and pristine and very well taken care of. You guys make your way to the Silver Lantern. The Silver Lantern is a 3-story tavern and inn, kind of nestled in a wealthier part of the city. There's buildings on either side. It's not in a part of the city. There's not like market shops around, but you do hear like blacksmith stalls, and there's some like warehouses and like work is happening nearby. But this is like a wealthier part of the city, so it's a little quieter. There's not as many people walking around. You do see outside of the tavern is another one of those constructs, one of the robots. You didn't ask its name. Oh, you guys should have asked its name.
Hey, robot, what's your name?
Wait, is this one hawking the same paper, or is it a different paper?
It is hawking the same paper. If you want an archive of older newspapers, you have to go visit their headquarters.
Well, I would like to ask him, Mr. Robot, sir. First off, what is your name? Since apparently that's rude not to ask.
I am a scandal squire. We are all scandal squires.
Obviously. Are there any other newspapers in this town, or is Scandal Squire the only one you can buy from?
Is the National Enquirer.
We are the main newspaper in Rosvane, although we are not state sanctioned.
I would never suggest such a thing. I was just curious if there was any other competition, or if you guys were it, because you're the only one I've seen.
No, but if you really want me to go and make a whole nother newspaper outfit, I guess I can.
I guess I just wanted to... I was just curious if they control the media here. I'm a little suspect, since they seem to be poisoning against the Duke here.
I mean, yes. So Dirk is definitely a Ground News subscriber, so he wants to be able to compare biases across the different newspapers here in town.
I like Ground News as well. Yeah, definitely. I did not create multiple news outlets for the city. I apologize.
So it is a monopoly.
Yes. Yes, we are the only news source in Rosvane.
All right, well, we'll keep an eye on you.
And I will sell papers here on this corner.
I don't like how they've automated like the job of the newsie. Like, what's Crutchy gonna do now?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Nolly comes and services us regularly.
Oh gosh, yeah.
I bet he does.
Nolly is a woman.
Oh, sorry.
All right, let's head in.
I think I don't know why, but because it's a robot doing a person's job, I want to be like, soak 'em for Crutchy.
Yes. Oh my god, that's amazing. The whole group goes into the inn. You can kind of tell the Duke is getting more and more excited. Sharn is kind of frustrated. Kirkman he looks like he's ready for some alcohol, and Denny's ready to go and mingle and start his actual job of intelligence gathering. When the Duke enters the building, you see there's a man behind the counter.
I knew he had a hoe.
He is an elf with a mustache, with dark hair and an eye patch. He looks kind of hardened. He looks like he has seen lots of fights at some point in his life. But he is behind the bar in a really nice brown tunic, like dyed brown, like really well put together. His mustache is groomed and curled just slightly on the end. He's serving alcohol to some patrons. As soon as the Duke enters the room, both the Duke and the elf both get like ear to ear grins.
Knew it.
The Duke says, "Malric, my old friend, I'm excited to have a beer. Where's Tora? Is she in the back?" And he says, "Oh, yep, Tora's in the back. I'll go get her." He walks to the wall behind him, and he taps on the wall and he shouts. He says, "Tora, put down the pots. Durzel's here. He finally made it." You hear like a pot like drop. It's like some clattering sounds, like food kind of splashes in the back room. You see the door like burst open, and a very burly woman leaves the room.
Oh, let's see her.
And this woman, Tora, she leaves the kitchens. She's got the right side of her hair is shaved all the way to the back, but then on the left side, it's actually like beyond shoulder length, like it's really long. It's right now tied into like a ponytail behind her head. She's kind of sturdy. She's human, but she's like really well built. Again, she looks like she could hold herself in a fight very well. And she also gets ear to ear grin, and she says, "Durzy, it's been so long." And that's where we're going to end for tonight.
We're going to be his gladiator friends.
Ooh.
Oh,
I think we are.
nice.
This is dangerous. The Duke's going to get drunk and we got to take care of him.
I did want to get to the temple, but honestly, sounds like a good time. Might have to have a brew or two.
Echo, there's lots of doors, lots of places for knives to be
Jesus,
hiding.
You're gonna give her a complex, Dirk.
Dude, Dirk already has an ulcer, so.
We probably gotta taste all the Duke's food and drink too, right?
You should chug half of his glass of wine each time he fills it, I think.
I don't think he's a wine drinker.
Sure.
I do have a menu for the Silver Lantern.
Ooh.
Pea skirts.
I'm excited for this.
Yeah.
Well, thanks everybody. Thanks for listening, everyone. Yeah. Come talk with us on Discord about this episode. What you liked, any thoughts or theories about some of the events that happened with our characters and leveling up to level 3. Remember, we have a shop. What else do we say? We have a shop. There may be some buttons in there soon. Who knows?
Yeah.
Discord.
Come tell us what
Yeah.
you think about clankers taking the jobs of poor crippled street children.
Lisa, can I have a penny?
Exactly.
Matt, I'll take saying goodbye for 500.
Oh yeah. Okay. Saying goodbye. This is the final phrase, always uttered by the person hosting the podcast at the end of each episode. No, I didn't have it written down. Sorry.
What is smell you later?
That is incorrect.
Damn
You
it.
didn't chime in.
Sorry. The correct answer we were looking for is until we get together next time. We hope you have a great
Man.
time.
I didn't want it to end, though.